that was missing in Game 1, as our favorite translator Joel lets us know. The SMEP fans are live in the audience.
Oh, yes.
We were told that if we go to 3 games, Atlas, I believe it is the 300th game for SMEP.
Yeah, currently on his 299th. And he may not be able to play that 300th game until he's up against Longzhu Gaming, which will be at the beginning of next week.
And the first 60 or so, pretty forgettable back in 2014 on a struggling Incredible Miracle lineup. But nowadays, he is that superstar of the top lane, and showing us this week that he's just as good in the tanks as he has been on the pressure bruisers.
Oh, yeah. And he makes Shen play not like a tank as well, Bubba Smithy. A little bit more like that pressure bruiser. He picks up that Titanic Hydra and goes to town on people. Not sure whether it's going to be the same story against the Maokai. He's going to be throwing kittens all over this map. And KT, some funny business. BBQ looking to try and help leash things for Bless.
Gonna be the one camp leash, no super leash. We don't have Galio to pop over the Winds of War and allow the little Raptors to basically instantly die. Yes, being allowed to die.
Yep.
KT cheesing.
Yeah, a lot of damage onto Totoro. Below half health, already having to eat through one of his biscuits. Thankfully he does have those though, so should be absolutely fine here in this lane as Deft starts things off pretty well. It's going to deny at least one creep, I believe. Oh no, not going to happen. Relic Shield going to be enough to grab that one for Ghost, so nicely done. Score on the other hand, he's having a great time. No worries at all on the Elise if he doesn't get a leash. As far as single target damage is concerned, that blue buff does not last long as Man Protect, understandable first start here for Pawn. He'll just keep taking down these minions.
But missing a couple of last hits.
Yeah. It's a bit depressing. I think Pawn's like one of those players that accidentally misses cannons while he's on screen more often than most others.
Is it accidentally or is it intentionally?
I don't know. I feel like he's trying
We
to...
did say that today is about the telecom war, so maybe he's trying to make Faker underestimate his level.
This is his, his handicap that he's got for himself. Is Crazy's taking so much damage up here, actually.
I wonder what's going to
auto
happen.
attacks from the Shen.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's the Cocoon, and that's dead. Okay, Skull going to grab himself another first blood and does it much quicker this time, 3 minutes into the game.
Well, I mean, I wonder because Rek'Sai was in the jungle, knew the Raptors were up, and thus, where could he possibly be?
Well, he could be killing the top lane, Pop Smithy. That's what I learned.
The communication probably would have helped him because he was very overextended for such a gank.
Ah, the wander casually. Your turret escape method, Pawn. I've seen that one before.
Did short on the tunnel there and did not want to use flash, and result, it all looked a bit silly.
Not a lot of things hitting. But Bless back into his jungle, parking this one up. Smeb's now the one who's overextended slightly. But you can see, first blood, it's 400 gold, maybe a little bit extra with the assist. But it's 1,000 gold lead, or was 1,000 gold lead, very, very close to for KT. So added on top of that is the fact that they've got pressure in at least 2 of these lanes.
Just wonder how BBQ gave up the Elise for free and then died to the most obvious level 3 Elise gank of all time.
Yeah.
Exactly on time with when it would come. Even though they knew Rek'Sai had the information that he wasn't there. Okay, Smeb's top lane, but he has flash if he needs to.
Yep, he's going to flash though, and maybe it's just not enough. The auto attack's not going to land, but they do once he gets out of that field, and Blast is going to answer it. So both junglers now picking up a kill on these top laners.
Yeah, good news story this time for BBQ. Shen too far up, and flashing wasn't going to be enough. It's happening in the brush, stopped any sort of escape route. We'll be able to teleport back in, so we'll not lose a massive amount of minions. At least they get a bit of parity among the jungle matchup.
Yeah, Bless now actually going for his Tiamat as well, so utilizing his kill gold to get a little bit of extra farming speed, not the Barmy Cinder, which has been more the option on this patch since the Cinder Hole buffs on sub 13.
Definitely has been the preferred. Score has Marta for backup.
Coon straight into the popcorn chicken. Steal away a few of those, but otherwise everything's going to be fine.
Crazy on a roam. This is pretty cool. Just visiting mid lane, seeing if he can go for a Twisted Advance gank.
I wonder what Haunted Maokai ultimate looks like. I wonder if it's little graves slowly going towards you. And I don't mean graves.
I know, that's what I was thinking about, actually.
Dead man walking.
With cigars for some reason.
Yeah. Well, they're the dead ones.
That's
you know?
true.
Yeah. Cigar is dead. It's just cigars. Slow-moving cigars.
We're probably going to see it, Atlas. I'm waiting and looking forward to that.
I'm very excited. Makes a lot of sense to me. Ghost and Totoro missing some of these creeps underneath the turret. A lot of pressure being put on by KT. 7 CS is the lead thus far for Deft. His Ashe has always been very aggressive.
His arrow accuracy isn't there with someone like Prey.
Oh,
Take a fast farm to the...
take it to the fountain.
Yep. A freebie.
Yeah, it's interesting that like Ashe players are so different, especially here in the LCK. You're right about Prey, his accuracy has always been out of control, but Deft is more like the battle Ashe. As the moment, he has to take a Dark Passage to get himself to relative safety. Good dodge to get himself out of the way of the piercing arrow. That would have done a lot with that Blighted Quiver stacked up to 3.
It also is related to when you came into the game, because when Prey, for example, came into the game, you know, Ashe was the in vogue AD carry Season 1. He was very much one of our OG players, whereas Deft, his spirit animal was always the Ezreal. He was always an Ezreal player.
Yeah.
So you see that little bit of difference there. The arrow mechanics so different from what other AD carries usually are tasked to provide, you know, the utility initiation. So just a reality of those little quirks.
It's going to be first back being gained by Deft, though, as they wanted to get their health back and grab his BF sword, which is going to be item number 1. We'll see whether that is going to be the Infinity Edge or, you know, the pushing build where you get the BF sword and then you go for your Zeal item, something like that, or whether it is going to be the Essence Reaver we've seen cropping up a little bit more here and there on the Ashe.
Bit interesting not to see the Blade the Ruin King Ashe come out when Super Tank Maokai is in the game.
Yeah.
I would imagine it's going to be the Essence Reaver. That's been the more common choice, and Prey has returned to that pretty extensively recently. Our only Infinity Edge first Ashe player has been Maha, who goes Infinity Edge first on a lot of carries when he's not going Blade the Ruin King.
And just likes Infinity Edges. It's crazy. Trying to do battle against Smeb, but there's a bottom lane waiting in the wings here as well, as Bless steals away the red buff. CC going to be traded as Score's looking to try and continue pushing this one up. It sends him to his Krug camp and ready for a gank against Smeb. That was done pretty well by Bless as far as positioning. Now they're looking to try and force this turret. I don't know whether they got enough minions to actually claim this one, as Mata does end up turning up, as there's the hook. In go the Graves, but they're not actually. That's just the regular routes. As Smeb's going to fall down. Ghost picks up that kill. Crazy finishes tanking up the turret and will be okay. Good dive from BBQ as they have another minion wave now heading towards this turret.
It was more of a contest from KT, who want to get first brick. They feel like they can defend with 3. It does look like they're correct. BBQ are not able to walk up and get this sort of turret HP damage they want. But BBQ investing a teleport means that there won't be a bot lane turret. Deft's actually pushed into turret.
Yeah, has to flash. That Bramble Smash goes a little bit further than the old arcane variety, Papa Smithy. As now, Ghost is in trouble.
Yep.
Oh no, this is the see your death moment. I know that I cannot do anything. And he's going to go down all too easily there for KT. We mentioned that Stand United, something Smeb pretty good at using. Certainly good when you've got Mata just standing on top of your opponent.
Standard lane swap, I guess, is what happens here. Looks like Braum is going to go top lane anyway. KT get the bonus kill, but it was an answer, if you think about it, to the kill on top lane onto Smeb under turret, so just answering in kind. Overall, pretty even among the teams. Only advantage for KT is keeping up the teleport on their top lane.
Well, it's in fact exactly even, as Smeb is looking to try and get himself out. There's the flash, Shadow Dash comes in as well. Makes it under the turret, but they've dived him like this multiple times before. Oh, the shield! And the arrow's going to land, but tempts the one tanking the turret, unfortunately for Smeb. Can't quite get the work done as Blessed. You're dead. Super dead, as Mata's going to be able to lock that kill up. And it's just KT roaming up after BBQ and always going 1-for-1. It's still at this 3-kills-to-3 situation.
Roll the yakety sax, Atlas.
Yeah.
There's a lot of silliness going on.
What kind of yakety sax, Papa Smithy?
The fun yakety sax.
Okay, good.
Everyone's favorite tune, the yakety sax. Needs to be enacted as the Ashe Arrow got massive value there, forcing the Rek'Sai to eat up 2 more turret shots than he wanted to. AT still do have their duo lane up top, so they will return into these oceanic lanes.
Yep, everything's upside down. We're feeling like we're back at home. Absolutely fantastic. As Pawn, he was ignored for a large portion of this game, actually. Has himself a 14 CS lead as Tempt is looking to pick up a few of these creeps underneath the turret and close that gap just a little.
Smeb's died 3 times in 10 minutes.
He has. And he helped get first blood as well, so it's been tough. He's not behind in farm, though.
He's had some adventures. His diary entries for this game will be interesting.
Dear diary, I died 3 times and we're still probably going to win. It was okay.
The stories of SKT and KT players. Smeb has gone the Tiamat against the Maokai. Matching wave clear is important, so no need to rush a Bramble Vest or anything like that at the moment. That magic more infrequent, so the Grievous Wounds and the Bramble Vest isn't even going to get massive value. Pawn has been very relentlessly aggressive at getting turret auto attacks in, but that does mean that he takes a decent amount of harass from Tempt.
Yeah, just wandering casually around, hitting him with his ball over and over again.
KT have the Vision Supremacy in the river that Rek'Sai was trying to amend. It's what allows Ashen Thresh to walk up.
Decides not to walk over that ward, does Pawn, as I think now he's found the control ward, but he's going to go for a gank on his own lane. It's pretty cute. Has that blue buff, so absolutely fine when it comes to mana. And Score gives up on any sort of gank attempt, understanding that Pawn is totally fine and should be able to handle this one on his own. Tower didn't fall on the bottom side though, so no first brick for either team. 400 gold is approximately the lead here for KT. But that has been switching around a lot so far this game. KT with longer leads, and then BBQ make it back to their farm, pick that one up, and then it's all absolutely fine. There's a shockwave. Tempt just takes half his health bar. Big one, not going to land, and Command Protect would have helped Pawn anyway. No more blue buff though.
I'm letting you solo cast for a bit.
Yeah, it seems to be happening. I apologize, Papa. Have you got anything to add?
No?
Yeah, good.
Keep going, Atlas.
It's just going to be me saying what's happening on the screen over and over again.
Our viewers that are tuning in with no video will appreciate that.
Hey, that's true. I could be a radio caster.
Yeah!
Deft auto-attacking minions.
We have talked many times about our dreams of joining ABC Grandstand and being cricket commentators.
People don't necessarily know ABC Grandstand unless you're an Australian. Of course, good time zone for us, so might be a few of you guys watching.
Well, they're not watching the OPL, so they've got to watch something.
Hey! Oh, wait. Is the OPL not on yet?
No.
It's finished?
That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, okay, cool. I thought you said like they're not watching it because they don't want it, because there was a real hype game today. Direwolves versus Legacy.
Nice.
That's a finals ring.
Oh, yeah, no complaints.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Tempt is going to walk towards the enemy turret, as you can see. Goes, checks on his ward that doesn't have very good vision. Arrow sails by majestically. And Tempt avoids the cocoon expertly as well here in this mid lane.
You're working on your adjectives, I like it.
I'm also just working on my...
All right.
This is for the side impaired.
Till 15 minutes, I want you to cast this as if it was radio.
All right, cool. Tempt clearing out some minions. Crazy down here. Beating the creeps with his large, rooty hands. Smeb will catch the minion wave underneath the turret. He'll continue clearing this one out. Scalper at the ready. As we drift our gaze towards the top side of the map. Deft was standing under the turret, but it's Ghost that's doing the farming. His turret, of course, with the minions pushed in towards it. Crazy takes a Blast Cone adventure as we head back down towards the bottom lane. Ghost and Totoro continue to push their wave up. There hasn't been too much action, guys. I know you can't really see what's happening, but you're not missing much. Skull will take down a Rift Scuttler. And Bless looking for the gank here because Crazy's going to turn up. Good repel from Skull. Has to use the flash. Get himself out of the way as well, and we are going to drift back into normalcy once again. Pawn throwing a little bit of damage down and nimbly avoiding the spells Tempt is throwing at him. Save me, folks.
At least now, people can download the Winamp and go back to the old days of shoutcasting.
Yes, we're actually shoutcasting.
Pair this with the replay. Doesn't know exactly what's happening. Contest over blue. Smite does come through for score.
Yeah, it's going to be able to take that one away, but Bless, he has to be careful. There's a red buff ticking on him. He's being slowed down. Arrow, another majestic miss, but it doesn't seem to matter as Smeb's going to turn up in time. Score grabs himself another kill. 2-0-1 for the Elise. 75% kill participation, if you don't mind. KT might be able to transition this into something like a Rift Herald or even this outer turret in the mid lane as Pawn takes a bajillion damage. That's not enough to kill him.
Yeah, first team move we've seen in the game recently, really, for the last 8 or 9 minutes, ever since we had the Yakety Sax moments in the top lane. Ashe roaming all the way down to mid to try to make this play. They really want to break the mid lane turret. That was the go button in game 1, you'll remember.
Yep, there's another hook, though, as the shockwave comes in. That's going to be enough to finish off the Braum. Totoro falls, and Tempt possibly in trouble. Another fortification moment here as the last auto attack on that turret was probably not worth it, Quan. You took a lot of damage there, buddy.
The shockwave was really smart because Braum was either going to die to the 3 members auto-attacking him or flash into the zone of the shockwave and die, so popped and he uses his summoner. Left all on in top lane for now, Thresh there to cover him anyway. Still, we don't have the turrets going down. The big go button, like I mentioned, was mid lane turret going down first in game 1. KT tried to recreate that, but not able to do so quite yet.
Still an okay news story for KT, though, because as this game has slowed down, they've been able to get leads regardless, get the picks that they were looking for there as well. And we were right when we were talking about Def's build. He's gone Static Shiv after the BF sword, much like he's pretending to be a Caitlyn or a Tristana or something of that nature.
So maybe that will just be the 2-item power spike into the Infinity Edge that, like you say, Tristana is very commonly picking up recently. Different approach, another new approach to the Ashe item build that has been one of the more flexible ones with Essence Reaver, Infinity Edge first, and also the Blade of the Ruin King being options. First brick, still not achieved at 17 minutes. It's super, super late. Another one of the reasons why we don't have the Rift Herald started either.
Yeah.
Is that no lane is long enough for the Rift Herald start to be safe.
And it was denied at the last second there as well by Deft. If you didn't see it, Tempt was doing a lot of damage to that turret, as now Deft is trying to have his moments as well. Marta turning up to zone anyone away from this, and it might just be KT taking that first brick from under the nose of BBQ after they were so close here towards the top side of the map.
Yeah, taking a turret is a multi-step process that will need more than one person. Tempt didn't have backup. He didn't have a support there to allow him to get the last 2 auto attacks for free, and that's why KT rotate more aggressively as Shockwave.
Yeah, Arrow once again. A lot of magic soars by as the ultimate does come down from Ghost. No turret there. What? That dissonance damage was disproportionate to what it should have been at this stage of the game. My god, he's got himself a needlessly large rod and a Morellonomicon, so it's decent damage potential here from this Orianna, but Pawn's not messing around.
Yeah, Pawn's Orianna does more damage. He's at 4-0, undefeated on the Orianna for the summer season, joining Smeb's 6-0 Shen, which it's not 6-0 this game, it's 1-3-3, but thankfully for Shen, hasn't really had to do much in the past 8 minutes or so.
Yeah. Pawn's Orianna has always been something fun to watch as well, as once again, that's the 3-hit combo onto Totoro. Takes a lot of damage. The command everything.
Let's contest the Drake.
Yeah, Bless does make his way out, but that's going to be the dragon secured. Oh, Pawn uses the cleanse, gets himself out of the way. Now decent positioning for KT. Smeb off to the side, Shadow dashes his way over. And disengage success here from KT.
Crazy one on a massive ride there. Another one of those Maokai's channeling early on the Twisted Advance, not knowing where they'll finally end up. Didn't lead to anything. Pawn used both summoners to get out. BBQ desperately want to start trading. This happened in game 1, you'll remember, where KT got free objectives and BBQ weren't able to trade them, and already that's the tune of 2 turrets and the first Drake.
Yeah, and Smeb just quietly, as all this has been going on, has a Warden's Mail, Spirit Visage, and that Tiamat done. So he was under that turret, taking absolutely no damage from both of these players. Able to clear out that minion wave. I thought that they may need to actually send some more members down and that they weren't going to be there in time, but certainly spoke too soon, or thought too soon. Trinity Force is done for Tempt, so he does actually have damage. Needs to be respected on this Corki as Smeb can head towards the top lane. Deny that turret take as, oh dear. Deft, most certainly dead. Tempt's going to be able to grab that kill, and Totoro, he's in trouble as well. Blast Cone actually going to take the adventure to get himself over the side, and good flash from Bless. Means, oh, Shockwave. That comes in, the Krugs need to do some work. There's the Dark Passage, and it's not enough to take down Bless.
You know, auto attacks. The last auto attack would have killed Bless, but not able to do it. Deft caught alone. They saw the Thresh with the score at the enemy red, and thus knew that they could just collapse onto Deft. Good target selection coming through from BBQ. That was the first time this game they've gotten a 1-for-0. No answering play across the map.
It was very, very close to actually getting 2 kills there as well, but some expert use of blast cones and flashes to get Bless and Totoro to safety. Deny any backup. Deft as well as Totoro does have the rest of his team here. Smeb's just going to continue being a nuisance towards the top side of the map. Went back and got himself some Mercury's Treads. See whether it's Tiamat, sorry, the Titanic Hydra that's going to come in next, or whether he goes for something else. His tempt, oh, denies Deft yet another arrow.
Very short Valkyrie, but gets him out of the AoE. Map control going all the way of KT. The action on screen hasn't been the best in the past 10 minutes, but the vision line tells you the story now. 3 control wards near Baron for KT. Not enough damage to take down Crazy just yet.
Yep, that shockwave definitely felt worth it, Pawn.
Crazy actually got 445 health from one Sap Magic passive.
Yeah, there's the root. As score is going to turn up. Pawn now with backup. It's Crazy. Yeah, this is some more yakety sacks that we're going to need here. Pop Smithy. As Twisted Advance comes in, Pawn's actually in trouble. Just the base damage is coming out from this Maokai who refuses to die. Pawn knows that he's close to being in trouble. Is he ever going to die? Yeah, there he is. Okay, finally. Finally! That was just, we're back to tank meta, Pop Smithy. I'd forgotten it because we'd had a few games without it.
And 30 seconds of trying to kill a Maokai slowly means that BBQ will take the top turret. So the trade there, not bad in their estimation. Taking down a Spirit Visage Merc Treads Maokai with 2 magic damage dealers. We can tell is probably a preview of what late game team fights may look like. But KT, they're not interested in late game. They've got good late game options themselves. But BBQ getting on the board in terms of these objectives is big for them.
Yeah, KT also have their own super tank as well, as Smeb will certainly get to that point relatively soon. Titanic Hydra does look to be the option next, as the Durham's Fist is hanging out in his inventory now. Heading that way makes the most sense. But there's a Burning Face from Score. Meander's Torment now picked up so that that situation with the Maokai may not happen quite as easily next time.
Pawn has gone very safe in his item build, Banshee Veil to go along with a Summoner Spell Cleanse that he took. Means that he'll be very safe in fights. Was already doing good damage earlier, so safety first, given the damage was already registering. It's probably a good mantra for Pawn.
I just would really like to see the Leander's Torment. As Ghost is going to find Smeb. The auto attacks are starting to come in. The big flash and the dash to get himself out.
A flashy dash, you might
Flashy
say.
dash, indeed. He wasn't looking like he was in much danger of dying. At least not quickly, as there's a box. And once again, we're on the let's try and kill Crazy battle, but at least Deft is here. There's the Shadow Dash. They had the Stand United. Everything was absolutely fine, and KT, with 4 members, are able to make short work of the Maokai.
And they put in such a big investment, Atlas, because they had those control wards down around Baron. They're going to try for a pick, but they will also start up the Baron. It's 23 minutes in, and KT want to accelerate the game.
Yep, control ward's here for BBQ, but half the health already done on this Baron. They do want to be able to get rid of Bless as he's heading over. Cocoon not going to find the target. We're looking at Marta to try and get a play, but it doesn't seem to matter. Oh! That's the Braum steal. Totoro says, yep, my Winter's Bite is easily enough for this one, as Bless was taken down, but that doesn't give them a smite, because you don't need one if you got a Braum.
And KT spent everything trying to spot the Rek'Sai. Spot the Rek'Sai wasn't able to do that. He gets over, and of all people to take it, it's Braum. It might have even been the Glacial Fissure Atlas. We'll get a replay of that. It was used. That was the only thing that's going to pass through multiple members. Well, that is a yakety sax way to pick up the Baron that KT thought would close out the game, and suddenly we may actually have a longer one on our hands.
Certainly might.
So they use a lot here. They use the Cocoon and Ashar both miss, and the Glacial Fissure into, you're right, the Winter's Bite. So the Glacial Fissure was used first, and then Winter's Bite, no one standing in the way of it, because of course Braum's not going to steal the Baron, except this time he did.
Yeah. Okay, now KT need to try and reassert some dominance here on this map. Dragon looking to be taken. It's only a Cloud Drake though, so KT not giving it a whole host of priority. Teleport going to be used by Crazy, but I'm not sure whether it's going to be enough to get them anything. That might be able to get them the Cloud, but it's not exactly a coveted Dragon. They will even up that Dragon scoreline, at least to boost their potential Elder Dragon in the late game, as Marta wants to find Crazy. Death Sentence goes just wide.
Pawn doesn't need to use his cleanse. In that particular scenario, we'll just back away, but this is Baron buff from BBQ on multiple members. Ghost able to bring up the minion wave in mid. Some damage in, and All these things were impossible for BBQ. They were second to rotations because of KT's vision control. But with Baron, that means oh so little.
Yeah, Ghost is able to get some meaningful damage onto this turret as well, as KT getting stretched across the map. Smeb shoves up that top wave. BBQ should be able to get this inner turret in the mid lane and possibly move themselves around. There's a Stand United once again as Mata taking a lot of damage. Totoro as well is going to get traded. Mata eventually falls, but in comes Crazy. Pawn hula hoops on himself. Oh no, he was wearing a 2-2 for a moment, and that's not going to help you in a team fight. BBQ are able to get 2 picks. Both tanky members on the side of KT are taken down, and this could give them some opportunities with these turrets.
Yeah, Pawn had a great chance for a multi-man shockwave, was hit by the Nature's Grass, used cleanse, but didn't command protect first, and thus was not able to use the shockwave in a way that does him any favors, or for KT any favors, because out of nowhere, BBQ, they've got the first inhibitor of the game.
Yep, they steal the Baron and then steal the rest of the base from KT. It's not much of a gold lead. 1.5k is certainly no big deal, but now with so much control of this map, BBQ are looking in a fantastic position.
It is a more forgiving draft from KT Rolster. This is not the all-damage Rumble Top special they ran for the majority of spring. Late game team fighting is a possibility for them. Well, watch the replay where Mata oversteps, gives up his life, but there could have been a turnaround. See, Pawn hit by Nature's Grass, cleanse. You know what he's thinking because of where Smeb is standing in the enemy team, but he doesn't use command protect first. Just a straight-up brain fade from Pawn. Means they get no value out of the Orianna that had already put on so many damage, that was piling on the damage in one rotation early in the game. Pawn has had a much better summer season, but his career has always had those intermittent lowlights, and that was another one of them right there.
Yeah. And look, Orianna, we've seen Orianna mistakes from even the best of Smithy. That was certainly not something we used to seeing from Pawn. Even when he was over in China, the man played Orianna so many times, was in a league with a lot of very strong Orianna players as well.
I mean, he's a good Orianna player. He's undefeated in summer season with 4 games played as well, but does have those momentary brain fades, and that one might actually be costly. As you say, the gold lead is certainly not massive. There's still a team fight that KT win, but BBQ have been able to get so many advantages so quickly, and now KT, they're just playing under their turrets and taking a lot of free poke from BBQ.
Yeah, Tempt is actually trying to do some work on this bottom inhibitor turret as well. Smeb's going to turn up to deal with the super minion wave heading down the mid lane, but going to mean that KT relatively thin underneath this inner turret. No more Baron buff, so at least they don't need to deal with that. With 4 members and some easily diveable turrets here, with Crazy being so incredibly tanky, we'll be able to just move up, take down this inner turret. BBQ continue the pressure.
KT are looking for a full reset. They want to actually be able to group as 5, but BBQ playing the map very smartly, just having Corki get free auto attacks to the Trinity Force in bot lane. Initiation available from KT, but not grouped as 5. They need Pawn to be in position for a team fight victory, but Maokai so sturdy in the front line. Means no value is going to be gained in the top.
Ghost looking for the piercing arrow, finds Mata with the end of it. Score, still looking for a cocoon. Pawn making his way over as well. Finally, KT with enough wave clear to deal with these minions now that there's no Baron. That tower is so low on the bottom side. Tempt certainly able to get a lot of work done. Feels like BBQ just happy to keep the pressure on up here on the top side and let Tempt be able to get pot shots like you were talking about.
And it's a smart 4-1 because Corki now wears teleport. It doesn't need to be Maokai, who be getting no meaningful damage done in the bot lane. It's Corki who does do that. KT, they group with Orianna. They want to make something happen. Hook goes wide, and we just reset for another minion wave.
Well, hopefully Pawn can go back and get himself a Rabbidan's Death Cap, KT fans, because, oh, it's actually going to be the Void Staff opting into that beforehand. There is that Magic Resist stacked up.
Yeah, mounted a Magic Resist, a Locket as well. Probably the right call. That's everyone that isn't Ghost, but Ghost's range is so long that a reliable target for the Shockwave.
You can see Deft going for the Mortal Reminder. Lord Dominic's Regard feels pretty good against tanks for that health shred, but want to deny the sap magic, all of the lifesteal available for Ghost. Want these guys to be getting all of that health back too easily.
But the reset happens with BBQ not breaking a second inhibitor turret. If they got a second inhibitor turret, during that tussle, and that would have been really big for them. But BBQ have to reset with Drake and Baron, more crucially, coming up in about 15 seconds time. Which allows KT time to buy some control wards, start to contest vision. The gold lead is not massive, so this reset allows KT to find a window back into the game.
Yeah, Totoro unbreakables the dissonance. Quan will be able to get himself over here. Ward back at the Baron pit. KT should be able to regain some control, especially with things like Hawkshot available to them. Hook gonna land. They're looking for the pick onto Totoro. Box is invested into this one as well, but KT not wanting to get too much more. Arrow lands. Good chain CC, but Bless once again able to flash his way out and keeps himself alive. That would have definitely spelt Baron. Although they may want to take down Totoro as well. We know that his Winter's Bite does a lot of damage.
A lot invested, like you say, because they got onto the enemy jungler. He's chunked out and doesn't have the semi-global ultimate anymore, so KT, they're still going to try the Baron.
They're going to do this one again because Tempt is towards the bottom side of the map. They do have the teleport, and it's coming in from the Corkies. Mata, big shield from the Stand United on Shen, but they do manage to take him down anyway. Crazy takes a lot of three-man shockwave in the back line, and Totoro now taking a lot of damage as well. Deft, piercing arrows there, and the flash from Totoro. He wants to eat some honey fruit to try and get himself back to healthiness. Good cocoon, but Deft still has to flash to get himself out of the way. Smeb off the backside. Now Deft wants to get static shiv procs across the top, but you can see they're so incredibly low. Flashing health bars on about everyone here.
Yeah, the team fight was so insane. Only now is Temp getting free autos onto Smeb. Could have gone so many different ways. Summoners blinking, health bars blinking. BBQ, they're pinging onto the Baron. They're going to try and turn onto it right now.
Yep. They know exactly what's going on here as well as Deft. He hasn't gone back to base. Decent damage here from BBQ, and we'll see whether KT can make it back in time. Teleport's coming in from Smeb, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough. The Baron is taken by BBQ, their second one of the game, and now KT want to find a fight, but they got low health bars.
Here we go!
Arrow flies forward. There's a good hook onto Totoro, who will fall down first. Deft grabs that kill as now Ghost trying to get the damage across the side with the piercing arrows, but the disengage is coming in. Crazy's being brought back into the fight. He does have the ultimate once again, but close to at least looking like he was going to potentially survive. But there's 5 members of KT, and that is going to be the lockdown of 2 members. BBQ with Baron on 3 though, so still feeling very good.
Yeah, even though they picked up Baron on 5, BBQ was smart to not group and re-engage with Baron buff. Their health bars were in a healthier spot than KT Rolster, but Pawn was back with the shockwave available. They did not want to try to contest the fight. They give up 2. KT move on to the Inferno. Bless is here.
So they're actually going to go for some sort of steal. Anytime that KT can keep them occupied is certainly a good one. That's a cheeky steal. Seems like smites are not what Score's able to get done right this game. As Tempt still doing damage off to the side. Remember, this was the priority pick Corki. We scoffed at it a little bit in Champion Select, but 3-0 and 2 for Tempt. Man looks pretty damn good. He was always a good Corki player. Just hasn't felt like the champion has deserved this much priority. BBQ trying to make us believers.
Yeah, BBQ, they were gifted a way back into the game with the Baron steal from Totoro. There's no doubt that Corki is a powerful pick in this meta, but does not deserve to be contested at first pick overall with what else was available. And yet, all that sort of analysis means so little when the Baron has gone to BBQ and the Infernal Drake is stolen by BBQ. The Smites have let down the side of KT Rolster, and now BBQ coming with a gold lead with an Inferno and looking to once again take down an inhibitor.
Yeah, good item spikes here for BBQ as well. Some to talk about on the side of KT, but Ghost, he's got the Infinity Edge done. There's Infinity Edge on Tempt as well. Their damage is just huge with how these work, as there's a 2-man shockwave. Big tanky members being taken down low as Totoro. He's going to fall. Smeb wanting to continue this fight at the same time. Bless has been chunked out. Means no more damage onto any of these inhibitors, and KT actually getting some control back here despite the Baron buff.
Yeah, BBQ's trying to play multiple lanes against super engaged from KT, and I think that's too greedy. Even with where they are in the game, they need to stay grouped because KT have the engage. The 4-1 plays are very likely to be punished whether Tempt has teleport up or not. He doesn't at this particular time. 1 member of BBQ goes down. That relieves pressure from KT, and the game is still not over. There is still a chance for KT to turn this one around as the 6 items approaches on most of their carries.
Yeah, Bramble Vest done from Smeb as well. Couple of auto attackers on the side of BBQ. It's an interesting one when it comes to building armor against a Corki who does 80% magic damage, but will still be hitting himself for a lot based on the fact that it's auto attack damage that is reflected. Confusing one when it comes to Corki's interaction with Thornmail.
We'll be obviously getting massive value against Ghost in particular.
Oh, yes.
Take 1.5 times the effectiveness, even not quite the 2 times effectiveness if there was a Lucian in the mid lane. Mab can control those waves very well on the side lane. With his Titanic Hydra, just no pushing going to be happening from the Maokai. 2 inhibitor turrets down, but no inhibitors down means that KT do have the ability to make things happen on the map, to move out and contest things. Baron still going to be a few minutes away being available. Once again, relative parity between the two teams.
And remember the last Baron, it was BBQ being able to pick up, what, 6 turrets or something like that, and the inhibitor that they were able to gather. This time around, they get approximately nothing from the Baron buff. So better control, better weathering of the storm for KT. We've got a Rabadon's Deathcap very close for Pawn. There it is. Back from the shop. He's a few CS behind, but now with these 4 items, it's a very happy Orianna. Didn't have enough money for a control ward, which is a little bit unfortunate.
So it's a really good spot for BBQ. Teleport Corki can be bot lane. Inhibitor turret is down. When the Baron eventually spawns, if their minion waves are in the right spot, there will be basically a split second for KT to either hit their initiation and do it triumphantly, or they will lose. An inhibitor, maybe a Nexus turret or 2. A lot of false choices are going to be forced when there is no inhibitor turret bot lane for KT against this double TP from BBQ.
Yeah, attempt utilizing that double TP so beautifully as well.
My estimation is that it will be that next Baron that will be the site of the deciding fight for this game. In a long lane, KT can force, but because they're not grouped as 5, hard to take someone down, and Crazy predictably can stand in the front with Braum and stop any action from happening.
Oh, there's the Cocoon landing. They've got the chain CCs. Crazy takes a lot of damage, but is he exactly the target they want? Oh, goes hit by the shockwave. Now has to get himself all the way out of there. Uses everything to try and escape, and that spells the end of Totoro. Decent timing, but there's still 1:40 on this Baron, as BBQ will have 5 members back for that. But good pick from KT.
Yeah, chunking out the Maokai early meant that he didn't regroup with the team. He went to the left, and only Braum was there as a frontliner to stand up. Great shockwave from Pawn. Getting on to Ghost meant that his health bar was low enough that he wasn't going to put out any damage. Crazy dies. They can return to their minion waves. 1 minute till Baron. It was close to being the Titanic fight, but when the first round of initiation is down from KT, there is no reason for BBQ to continue fighting and no way for them to multiply their kills. It stays at 1.
Yeah. Deft as well, only 1 item to complete, same as Ghost. So despite Ghost having a little bit of extra movement around in the back of a lot of these team fights, getting a lot of consistent damage, he's only 1-1 and 3, as Deft has quietly been sitting on 4-1 and 3 this game. Apparently you don't need to hit arrows to get a lot of kills and work done in these team fights. Deft more about avoiding skill shots rather than hitting them, to be honest. This guy has always been very, very agile. Hasn't hit many arrows this game, though.
He and Bang have struggled on the hitting the arrow mark.
Yeah, this feels like you can only have 1 prey in a league.
KT walking up to try to contest that vision. Corki can't be bot lane. At the moment, the mini wave is pretty far pushed out, so the 2 inhibitors being down for now doesn't mean much, which really focus and onus is on BBQ. What you can do in these scenarios is actually control the minion wave bot lane to the point where KT have to choose between overstaying around Baron or losing big parts of their base. But now, when the minion waves are pushed out as far as they are, they don't have to make that decision. They can just be a 5-man unit.
Yeah, and they're able to get control of this mid lane at the same time. So many control wards, so much vision available for KT. And you mentioned Winfrey earlier on. Still searching for these engagements, and now that they have Soul Vision, looks like BBQ were considering trading for an Elder Dragon.
I think KT will be happy with that. They have a lot of control wards down, but none available at present. Have one on the base. There is vision in the area on the side of BBQ. BBQ thought they could just take a free Elder while KT danced. This dance is going to be a fast one.
Yep, Bless looking to make his way in as well as KT pull off the Baron. They do not want another steal to come down for BBQ.
Big minion wave for them in the bot lane. Now it's KT who's actually incentivized to keep up the pressure.
Yeah. Coon's going to go wide.
Oh, it's a backdoor attempt. Corky's in the mid lane, he's hitting onto the inhibitor.
Oh, Arrow once again going to pick the gap between BBQ.
That's one inhibitor down already.
He should be able to get this second one. There is not enough room, and look at the damage coming out from this. Corky Mata immediately gets himself out of the ultimate from Ghost, and he's going to be the pick. Yeah, Def flashes out of the side, gets the Dark Passage, so he's not going to die, but has to use so much to get out of the way. Tempt, now the flanking Corky, who's just torn up the base of KT Rolster, and they just have no idea what to do.
Yeah, KT could not make the play. The Ash arrow goes wide, so hard to hit it, and Nature's Grasp for disengage is insanely powerful. No way to punish at all. Those inhibitors are down. Because the super minions hadn't spawned yet in bot lane, they do take down the bot lane inhibitor, but the smart slow push in top and bot means so much less. Now there's super minions in 2 lanes.
Well, KT have got themselves back to a point where they can pressure this Baron. They want to try and start a fight though. Arrow close to coming up for Def to Smeb. Gets himself in amongst it, but has he overextended? Takes the lantern, gets himself out. BBQ still trying for this one. Baron started up once again. Remember, they've got a lot of damage. Tempt gets himself over to the side. Bless wants to make his way into this pit, and KT forced to stop it. So much respect being given, and it's deserved as BBQ have been able to get the last 2 of the Barons in these contested scenarios.
Mata's trying to back quite an aggressive position, but has a blast cone to get out. KT realized they cannot overstay in this scenario. BBQ can basically do whatever they want. They can turn onto the Baron themselves. There's the full recalls. Only Mata is here, at least in the area as well.
Yeah. Should be able to get some vision to chuck down, but it looks like KT understand that they're not going to be able to contest this. Baron is going to be taken down for BBQ, their 3rd of the game. Now they're pinging towards the Elder Dragon.
A lot of gold being won by KT, but they aren't able to actually go and purchase. Smeb has to spend all of his time contesting this super minion wave in bot lane. Will it just be the overlapping buffs for BBQ? They will just run up to the Elder. They tried to start before all the craziness that led to the Tempt backdooring both inhibitors. Mata's walking up. Rest of the team behind him.
It's going to be up to score. He needs to be able to land this smite. Elder Dragon going to reset. Good cocoon lands onto Tempt, but Totoro blocks the death sentence. Oh, Chains of Corruption do go wide. Yes, Mavs looking to try and get himself in there. Gets himself around the back end. That's the Elder Dragon going over to score. KT with a lot of extra damage now in this fight. Regrouping as well with that Dark Passage. Deft down to about half health. Tempt seeing what he can do. Yeah, Deft is taking so much damage. They're desperately trying to get back to save their Nexus turrets as these super creeps are smashing forward. Good distance being created by Mata. Dark Passage is there as well. Can they actually defend this? They do have a lot of damage once everyone turns up, but KT are going to be relegated back to their base until these inhibitors respawn. There's no more Baron buff to deal with. This game, 44 minutes in. KT still not out of it just yet, but it's looking very dangerous as BBQ keep getting the advantages. That backdoor play from Tempt was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, great team call there, or solo call, hard to say. Got massive advantages for no cost whatsoever, something that we've said that KT have been able to do on their best days. In Game 2, the Elder Dragon being picked up by KT represents a delay. It helps them to push out the super minions. It also largely negates the effect of the Baron buff. 1 inhibitor turret left for KT, now going to be the focus from BBQ.
Now you can see Pawn and Smab, they're doing their very best to deal with these super creeps. They do take them down relatively fast. Stand United there for Smeb as well. KT, lots of damage available. Can get rid of these minion waves fast, but I don't know whether it's fast enough. Steph now double lifesteal, so this poke is not going to be as meaningful from the Corky and the Varus. But 6-item Corky, 6-item Varus. This is a lot of damage out of BBQ.
6 items finished on Pawn as well as he buys the Liandry's Torment as his final, sold the Fiendish Codex and bought that.
I like that a lot. Will actually be able to do relevant damage now to Crazy. As Arrow not going to find Tempt. Good Valkyrie gets himself out of the way as Deft. Shield comes in, avoids a lot of these as Mata does find the hook onto Totoro. Lots of damage, but is able to get out with the stand behind me.
The Cannon Minion is still doing damage to this turret. Doesn't actually force anything. They can't fully back away here, KT Rolster, and that means that BBQ, they have the option for waiting another minion wave. They're doing this without their Braum, so a bit greedy here from BBQ.
Yeah, inhibitors are going to be back up relatively soon, and there's not a lot of time left on this Baron. So KT, once again, weathering the storm effectively. Inhib back up in the mid lane. It'll be back up in the bottom lane as well. And now BBQ have to replicate this dance that they did so expertly once again. The KT do have reset time. They have time to get vision in their jungle once again. It's whether or not BBQ can actually set up what looks like a trap here on the top side of the map.
Gold lead represents, basically, we are at equivalence between the two teams. 6 items achieved on both sets of carries. Shockwave could be the ultimate equalizer, but getting access to the backline is going to be pretty damn difficult. Smeb has had to largely be using his ultimates reactionarily. We haven't seen 3 or 4 man. Shen taunts and Totoro and Crazy have largely been strong enough to stand in the front line, tank the initiation and turrets. It's bot lane.
Yep, on looking for it, but the package was used for the disengage, and Tempt is going to be okay.
Rek'Sai's mid lane trying to take down the inhibitor as well.
Yeah, so much pressure everywhere as Deft finally able to take down that minion wave. Sold his static shift for a rapid fire cannon, prioritizing the team fight over clearing out the waves, and I don't know whether it's necessarily the best idea. What he's been tasked with is largely trying to kill creeps as quickly as possible. So it feels like inevitably this tower will go down. The ultimate just going to be used from Crazy. He's spoken about its ability to utilize this a lot. But KT just stand their ground. They don't care if they get a little bit rooted.
The bot lane, though, Tempt's one auto attack away from taking down the bot lane inhibitor, and Rek'Sai may not be doing a lot of damage to the mid lane one, but reliably gets there again and again. Tempt does finally take down that inhibitor.
Yeah, KT get themselves back to the mid lane.
It feels like they have force. Ash Arrow, Thresh Hook, the Orianna Shockwave. They haven't been able to force what they've wanted to look for, and it's just Smeb solo. Okay, here's the fight.
Yeah, there's the engagement. Crazy taking a fair bit of damage. Def just free hitting off the back end. That's exactly what they want. Pawn, he's going to turn up as well. Toto are in trouble as Tempt doesn't have a lot of mana remaining, but good disengage from BBQ.
There's nothing for them to fight for, Atlas. They already got the 2 inhibitors. They don't need to get overly greedy for this final inhibitor turret. With the reset from Casey, they may get it anyway. It's a single auto attack away from going down.
They are just going to back away. So 1 minute left on this Baron. They'll have Elder Dragon to take pretty much immediately afterwards as well. And BBQ, after 1 steal, have just had this game under control, despite the lack of any relevant gold lead for the entirety of this game.
And you know, BBQ played that frustrating series against MVP where they stacked tanks and basically everyone was just looking for turret dives. Gold leads just represented into brute force and no playing of the side lanes. But in this game, their macro has been very smart. Tempt going for the backdoor on the 2 inhibitors as what has led to the next 20 minutes of smart play from BBQ. And in a situation where some team like Everett Winners, for example, might have barreled down as 5 and just relied on their Maokai and Braum to provide enough space for Tempt and Ghost to auto-attack down the top lane inhibitor turret, they have been doggedly putting their Rek'Sai in mid lane, their Corki in bot lane, and forcing KT into lose-lose scenarios. Great to see these adaptations for BBQ, who are making it so damn hard for KT Rolster to actually get a foothold back into Game 2.
Oh, KT are grouping as 4, trying to get themselves around this map, brute force some vision in there. They do get the control ward down, but they haven't spotted this vision ward that gives them every bit of information ever on the side of BBQ. Score turning up. Now they still want to take down this inhibitor turret on the top side of the map. Remember, that's regenerating its health. Quan and Deft with a lot of wave clear will be able to clear out this one.
I believe Stan United is about 5 to 10 seconds away from coming off cooldown. Will be available very soon. BBQ run into a Baron. This will be the 4th of the game, I believe.
Yes. 4th of the game for BBQ as well. And only the 2nd that they've started themselves. But this is their game. Rotate between the Baron and the top lane. And as soon as KT can't get that inside track over to the objective, move back to the other one. See whether you can do it there. The onus is definitely on KT to make anything happen, as this could be the face check. Unbreakable there for Totoro. They're not going to invest too much.
Pawn is in such a rough spot. If he uses the shockwave and it doesn't get a kill, then BBQ will stop Baron.
Oh, Crazy actually taking some relevant damage here. Deft able to tear through him. I know he's a super tank, but starting to look squishier and squishier as Deft has more and more damage. Elixir of Wrath actually on him as well. Tempt also has that one. Dark Passage there to get Deft to relative safety, but there's the teleport. Yeah, Crazy coming back with the full health. Smeb's pushing things down, and BBQ finally get that inside track that we were talking about, but can KT find the team fight? Totoro is hooked up once again, but look at this. Score's in trouble off the back end. Totoro eventually falls down. It's 4 versus 5 now in favor of KT.
Where's the shockwave?
And Smeb is huge in the front line. There's the flash. Ghost immediately uses the QSS to get himself out. That's the disengage, but the man advantage is there. Deft flashes on top of Ghost, and he's dead! They pick up the kill, and now KT, they have the massive damage advantage.
They do, but what else do they have, Atlas? They don't have minion waves. They can't just barrel down the mid lane. Tempt will continue to take pot shots at Nexus turrets. It feels so cathartic for KT to finally pick up kills on these carries that have frustrated them. Only just kills. At the moment, nothing more. Death timers are insanely long. 20 seconds for Braum, 50-odd seconds for Ghost. KT trying to barrel down mid, and for once, Tempt has nothing to backdoor.
Nope, can't be taking down these inhibitors, and look, they're going to be up relatively soon. This timing could not be better for KT as they're looking to try and take down this Baron, and I think finally, Papa Smithy, KT are going to be able to get one in their back pocket.
No abilities to contest the Baron. This time it goes to KT. This means that when we see multiple lanes being played, the super minions will answer the threat of someone like Tempt. And this means that maybe, just maybe, BBQ will have to be forced into 5v5, and the 5v5 from KT is still potentially able to take down BBQ.
Yeah, and I like that you sort of caught yourself at the end there, because BBQ's 5v5 is not anyone to scoff at either. They've got the front line, they've got the Maokai, and they have a lot of damage in late game Corki and Varus, but KT's just feels so standard. They have so many opportunities as far as engage, and they've got Deft's Ashe and Pawn's Orianna for their damage as well.
Pawn has been so conservative on his shockwaves ever since the flub about 25 minutes ago. He realizes if that ability is down, BBQ will feel empowered to try to run through KT's team. But the flashes are still up on BBQ. They weren't used by Tempt or Ghost in the last fight, so actually setting up that ultimate. And speaking of ultimates,
another arrow is going to go wide. Coon not finding the mark, but there's the ult coming out from Crazy, sending the roots forward. That's the Zhonya's from Score, as Bond uses the cleanse, gets himself out of the way. Score survives for the moment as Bless needs to be careful. Those empowered autos are doing a lot of work, but what is also doing work are the rockets and the arrows flying over from BBQ.
Elder Dragon is up. BBQ ping onto it. KT barreling down mid. They'll start to react. There's a lot of damage from BBQ.
Oh my goodness, this is not lasting long. Bless should be able to grab it all too easy. As now Smeb trying to run for his life. They don't want to fight for something that isn't even there.
And there's nothing more scary than a Corki with the Elder Dragon buff. So much burn going to come onto the rockets that are already powerful. With the Baron, KT do take down the mid lane inner turret. Teamfight victory might mean more, and KT, they're just following in the super minions here. It's also an empowered minion that's actually been promoted.
Yeah. Cute, I like it. I feel like Mata probably the one to be credited with that one.
Banner of Command helped them in their quest. They're not going to be able to take down an inhibitor just yet, though.
When is it time for the Zrot portals, Papa Smithy?
We're getting close, Atlas. The super minions are helping them with the push in the side lane. You see Bless answering a minion wave. Once again, good minion wave control has meant the KT have had both the side lanes. They're coming for a flank. They don't know here, BBQ.
Yeah, Cocoon lands. Lots of damage. There's a two-man shockwave, but Tempt uses the QSS, gets himself out with the Valkyrie and Pawn. Now in trouble. Stand United comes in, but he's taken down. And now Ghost is flashing forward. KT running for the hills. Have created some relative distance. Good dodge to get out of the way of the Glacial Fissure, and the slow's not quite enough. Deft doesn't quite have flash. Score skittering as quickly as he can.
But the follow is coming from BBQ. Remember, 3 naked inhibitors. They can take them all down. They have the man advantage.
Oh, that was Mikura's scimitar just for the movement speed as Deft is getting slowed down to high heaven. Not enough as the Dark Passage does come in. Crazy, not even going to get flung back as Smeb. He's tanky, but how tanky is Crazy? Able to pick up that kill. We've got 40 seconds on Pawn. You've got members underneath turrets. Totoro is going to fall down, but look at Def. Oh, massive damage onto the Corki. The double kill, make that a triple. Oh my God, so much work done by Ghost. Triple kill comes in, and that should be the game for BBQ.
They just need a minion wave. There'll be one respawn from KT Rollstar, maybe even not. Still 20 seconds on Pawn. It felt like he's been dead for about 3 minutes.
Yes, well, the death time is a huge problem, Smithy. It's 55 minutes into this game, but it's going to be enough. BBQ, they managed to steal that first Baron, and it felt like that was when it all turned around. They win the team fight to take down the game in the end. Ghost looked great. He's thrown all his buttons away, and that's going to be the Nexus 4.